And we're back.
Welcome back to Coffee Meets Murder, guys. As you may know by now, I'm Janelis, and next to me, as always, is...
Levon.
On today's episode, it's going to be about Lizzie, the Lizzie Borden house, which is not only a murder case, but there's a haunting aspect to it.
Ooh. But,
like we promised in last week's episode, we're going to share a coffee order before we start. Maybe you'll like it and say, I think I'll try this one tomorrow. Or maybe you won't, and you'll say, this sucks. But if you do try it, let us know. Levon, you want to give us yours?
Well, I have a story.
Oh, it's a story.
Yeah. But you give yours first.
You want to give my order?
First.
I'll give my order first.
Yeah.
Okay. So my order is a grande-sized cold brew. Okay. But it has vanilla sweet cream cold foam, 2 pumps of brown sugar syrup, and half an inch splash of cream. So half and half with a little bit of cinnamon powder.
You said half an inch splash? How do you measure half an inch splash?
I don't know. That's what I'm reading.
Okay.
It says half inch splash of cream.
Okay.
Half and half. So it's just half and half creamer, bro.
All right.
With a dash of cinnamon powder.
Okay. Not bad.
Now you know. Half an inch.
Not bad. So this one is it's on Reddit from All Day A Day 420. And they wrote, I guess they used to work at a coffee shop.
Okay.
And so he goes, I had a lady who would come in and order an iced white chocolate latte with extra white chocolate, 6 shots of espresso, 12 pumps of simple syrup, 12 pumps of vanilla syrup, 6 pumps of caramel sauce, caramel drizzle, and whipped cream. She wanted to stand there and watch us put it in every single pump and would say something if she felt like we didn't pump, if we didn't push the pump down all the way. Then
she's getting her money's worth.
Yeah. Then she'd take a sip and insist it wasn't sweet enough and ask to add 4 pumps of raspberry syrup. She never wanted to pay for the raspberry syrup. Then she'd find something else to nitpick. Too much ice, not enough milk, or too milky.
The milk was a problem.
Once she deemed it perfect, she'd take a dozen sugar packets from the condiment bar and be on her way.
It just got worse. Like, it started off bad, and then it just got worse.
That is ridiculous.
How much sugar is in that? All those pumps of whatever she did, caramel, vanilla, and then on top of that, a dozen packets of sugar.
Yep.
A diabetic could never.
Never. Instant kill.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot. That's unhealthy. I recommend that you don't.
Yeah, don't do that.
Try that one at all. But if that's your cup of tea, do you, boo. Lord, that was a lot. All right, so before I get to the actual itty bitty and gritty of the case, I'm going to start with some background information.
Okay.
Okay, I feel like we need to lay the land first before we get into it.
Right.
Okay. So Elizabeth Andrew Borden, who we will call Lizzie for the rest of the episode.
Okay.
Was born on July 19th, 1860 in Fall River, Massachusetts. Her parents were Sarah Anthony and Andrew Jackson Borden. She was the 3rd child born to the couple, right? Lizzie had an older sister named Emma Lenora and a younger sister named Alice Esther. But sadly, Alice died of hydrocephalus at 22 months. So a year and some.
Okay.
Almost 2 years. 2 years old. Hydrocephalus is a condition where there is a buildup of cerebrospinal fluid in the brain's ventricles, which then leads to increased pressure within the skull.
Okay.
And then this can affect people of any age. So it's very sad that a 22-month-old child had to go through this, especially around this time.
Right.
Right. Her mother, Sarah Borden, later dies.
Oh.
While the girls were still very young. Okay, so that's the lay of the main family. Andrew Borden was of English and Welsh descent. He grew up in very modest surroundings and struggled financially as a young man, despite being the descendant of a wealthy and influential family. So he was wealthy.
Yeah.
But I guess they had him struggle regardless of them having money or not. He eventually prospered in the manufacture and sale of furniture and caskets, and then became a successful property developer.
In caskets?
Yes. So he worked with his hands, I guess. But he was a very wealthy property developer. So he would build homes and businesses and things like that. And then he would sell it. So he was like a real estate person, but the person who would like a contractor.
Right.
And because of this, then in the area that he lived in later with his family, they became very well known. Like the Borden name was very well known.
Okay.
He was also a director of several textile mills and owns considerable commercial property, and was involved in other things like different groups having to do with like banks and taxes and things like that. So he was very involved, which with all of this, you can say made him wealthy. But despite all of this, he was known for being very frugal. So cheap.
Okay.
Sorry, sir, if you're hearing me. Yeah. So I think this came from his upbringing. You know, he had to grow up being cheap or, how do I say it? Spending his money where it belonged,
right.
Because they weren't helping him financially. So when he is wealthy, like he became his parents, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so he treated his daughters
the same way.
So Lizzie and her sister Emma had a relatively religious upbringing and attended Central Congregational Church. As a young woman, Lizzie was very involved in church activities, including teaching Sunday school to children of recent immigrants. She was involved in other religious movements or groups in her church as well. So they were very involved, like youth group and things like that.
Okay.
Very, very religious people, or little girls. Now, I would like to point out that this was the 1860s, which was the time of which Abraham Lincoln was elected president. And then because of this, then later on the Civil War begins.
Right.
So we can put ourselves in the time frame, in the mind frame of how they lived.
Right.
Okay. The actual home where the family lived lacked indoor plumbing, even though it was a common feature for the wealthy at that time. The house stood in an affluent area, but the wealthiest residents of Fall River generally lived in the more fashionable neighborhood called the Hill. So even though they had money, they still lived in like an area where non-wealthy people lived.
Okay.
If you were wealthy like them, you would live at the Hill, but he didn't want to live there.
Okay.
Right. Saving money and all that. They probably could have also had like indoor plumbing and he just chose not to.
Yeah.
Because it was just money. Yeah. That's insane. It's like, yeah, no, we're not having a toilet because
you could go walk outside.
Go outside. Right. So also a key thing is that even though they were wealthy and they lived in a less wealthier house or less wealthier neighborhood, the area in which they lived was closer to the industrial areas of the city.
Okay.
So it was just convenient for him to be closer to where he worked, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
So Andrew Borden later married Abby Dunfrey Gray 3 years after the death of Lizzie's mother.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And reading up on the family, I got the understanding that Lizzie did not like her stepmother, right? Lizzie thought that Abby married her father for money.
Okay.
For his money. Okay. Even though he's cheap, but whatever. She called her Mrs. Borden and then later said that they had a cordial relationship, but their live-in maid, Bridget Sullivan, who was 25 years old, said that Lizzie and Emma rarely ate meals with Andrew and Abby. So you have a cordial relationship, but you don't necessarily spend time together.
Right, yeah.
Is what I'm understanding. And then as a fun fact, so we can get the gist of the whole family dynamic, before they had Bridget as a maid, right, the family, they had a previous maid named Maggie, right? Okay. And so the two girls, Lizzie and Emma, couldn't be bothered to learn Bridget's name, so they just called her Maggie and expected her to answer to Maggie every single time.
Damn, okay.
Right, which is awful.
Yeah,
right? Aren't you religious? Aren't you supposed to be all holy and her than thou?
Yeah, of course.
That's rude, But okay, moving on. Now you get the gist of everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. On the morning of August 4th, 1892, in Fall River, Massachusetts, Andrew J. Borden visits his barber, Peter Leduc, Peter, at 9:30 a.m. He then stops at the bank and then goes home. But at the same time at 9:30, Abby Borden is at home and goes upstairs to the second floor to make the bed in the guest room. Lizzie's working in the barn because, of course, they have a barn. Right. But go look at the photo of the property. It's like scary. It kind of like reminds me of the other episode, the other case that we did, where the guy was living in the house.
The Hinterkaifeck?
Yep, that one. Something like that. Okay. And then also you have then Bridget cleaning the third floor room, as she does since she's the maid. Also, we have to remember that the third floor was also like her room. So she was probably in her room cleaning it, hanging out.
Yeah.
Because the family wasn't really home altogether. Right. And by this time, it is 10:45 a.m. Lizzie returns to the house and discovers Andrew's body on the sitting room sofa with head wounds. So this house has like a parlor area where, like the living room, you could say.
Yeah.
Right. And he's sitting on the couch with head wounds. Now, upon seeing this, she is freaked out, obviously, and in shock, and calls out for anyone else in the house. Upon hearing Lizzie, Bridget hurries down, but discovers Abby's body upstairs between the bed and wardrobe. Oh. She screams murder.
Okay.
Now, by this time, the neighbors are aware that something is definitely going on because of the commotion.
Right.
And so Adeline Churchill, one of the neighbors, calls the police. Okay. Once at the house, Officer Allen and all the other ones who accompany him find Andrew Borden and his second wife, Abby Borden, brutally bludgeoned to death. Both victims suffered multiple axe or hatchet blows to the head.
Okay. Jeez.
At the time of the murders, we know that 32-year-old daughter Lizzie Borden and the live-in maid Bridget Sullivan were in the house, but no one else. So obviously, what are we thinking by now?
The Lizzie did it?
Or Bridget,
yeah.
All right, so this is where it gets a little tricky. Bridget later testifies saying that Andrew returned at around 10:30 a.m. His key failed to open the door, so he knocked, and then she goes and went to unlock the door, but found it jammed. She uttered a curse. She testified that she heard Lizzie laughing immediately after this. She did not see Lizzie, but stated that the laughter was coming from the top of the stairs.
That's creepy.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Considering that she was not supposed to be there. She was at the barn, like she said.
Right.
Why would you even do that? Like, why would you just imagine, like, just at the top of the stairs, you're just staring down and you're laughing? Creepy as a bitch. Okay, so the fact that she was at the very top of the stairs laughing was considered significant because Abby was already dead by this time, and her body would have been visible to anyone on the second floor. Lizzie later denied being upstairs and testified that her father had asked her where Abby was, to which she replied that a messenger had delivered Abby a summons to visit a sick friend.
Okay.
So she was upstairs making the bed, like I said, and all that stuff, and then she gets a letter reading it. Right. I mean, it's about the sick friend saying, hey, come and visit me.
Right.
Okay. Bridget stated that she then removed Andrew's boots. This is one season. Stated that then removed Andrew's boots and helped him into his slippers before laying down on the sofa for a nap. A detail contradicted by the crime scene photos because they show that Andrew was wearing boots.
Oh.
Right. She testified that she was in her third floor room resting from cleaning windows just before 11:10 a.m. when she heard Lizzie call from downstairs. Maggie, come quick. Father's dead. Somebody came in and killed him.
Just like that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she said it like that, but I don't know.
Okay.
We don't know who killed him, right? So that's what she said, though.
Okay.
Andrew was slumped on a couch in the sitting room downstairs, like I said, struck 10 or 11 times with a hatchet-like weapon. One of his eyes had been split cleanly in two, suggesting that he had been asleep when attacked. His still bleeding wounds suggested a very recent attack.
Right.
So she came downstairs and he was still like bleeding.
Bleeding out.
Mm-hmm. Lizzie's initial answers to the police officers' questions were at times strange and contradictory. Initially, she reported hearing a groan or a scraping noise or a distress call before entering the house. 2 hours later, she told police that she had heard nothing and entered the house, not realizing that anything was wrong. And when asked where her stepmother was, she recounted Abby's receiving a note asking her to visit a sick friend. She also stated that she thought that Abby had returned and asked if someone could go upstairs and look for her. Bridget and the neighbor, Mrs. Churchill, were halfway up the stairs, their eyes leveled with the floor when they looked into the guest room and saw Abby lying face down on the floor. So my friend over here, Lizzie, says that she didn't see her.
Right.
That she couldn't have, that Abby was reading a letter and all this good stuff, right? She says that she heard noise, but coming into the house, she didn't hear anything. That's already contradicting herself.
Yeah.
Right? But then again, the maid and the neighbor are both saying that halfway up the stairs, you can see into the guest room and you see Abby lying on the floor.
Right.
So who's lying? Right? Also, very, very, very weird that Bridget will come down and say that the wounds are very fresh, like it just happened.
Right.
With a whole, like, and remember this. Remember when I said that there was a lot of blood?
Yeah.
Clearly because he's bleeding out, or
obviously.
Very fresh wounds.
Right,
okay. Right. Keep that in mind. Okay. Most of the officers who interviewed Lizzie reported that they disliked her attitude. Some said that she was too calm and poised. Despite her behavior and changing alibis, she was not checked for bloodstains.
That's weird.
Police did search her room, but it was a cursory inspection. At the trial, they admitted not doing a proper search because Lizzie was not feeling well. They were subsequently criticized for their lack of diligence, which...
Major.
Yep. Investigators immediately knew something was wrong because there was no sign of forced entry or any sign of an outsider being at the home. Right? Because that would be like the first thing you're checking for, right? You're trying to completely take the people in the house out of the crime.
Correct.
But when you can't, they're still put right in the middle of it. Right? Police Chief Hillard and Marshal Hillard immediately secured the scene. Neighbors and Lizzie gave statements for Officer Allen, Dr. Bowen, who was their physician at the scene, and pronounced both dead at 11:15 a.m. Detectives cordoned off the house, barred the press, and initiated searches of the house, barn, and Borden farms in Swansea. So they live in a farm, essentially.
Right.
And so the police completely boarded it. Not boarded it, but surrounded the area so that the crime scene wouldn't get...
To preserve it.
Exactly.
Right.
Officers later followed several leads. They checked the Borden supply of milk for poison because Lizzie, the day before, fun fact, right? Lizzie, the day before, was found buying poison. So because of this, they checked for poison around the house. And they had cows and they had a milk supply. Right. So they said maybe they drank the milk and got poisoned. But when they tested the milk for poison, it came out like negative.
But that's not what they died of, though.
Exactly. I don't know.
They were butchered.
Yes, but it would put her as the main suspect. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It would put her like right at the top of the list because why are you trying to buy poison? And why is it poisoned? Right. And you just couldn't wait for them to die of poison, so you whacked them. Right. You know? Yeah. The poison, and then they pursued the Portuguese farmhand who had met Borden at 9 a.m. only to find he was still in bed. Okay. He was ill in bed. I'm so sorry. He was sick. So even though he met him, he went back to bed. Okay. And was ill. So he was sick. So it couldn't have been him. A clamp key structure 2 teams of officers, one from Fall River and one from Swansea, tried to intercept any suspect returning to the farm. In parallel, a coroner's inquest began on August 9th, hearing 21 witnesses over August 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Okay.
So they just basically would interview, talk to, or question anybody who was around the farm at that time. Because you also have to think, again, 1860. How much more could you do?
Yeah.
Right. So upon investigation, there was no obvious blood splatter that was observed on our walls or ceilings.
Okay.
Blood saturation was confined to the victims. However, investigators did find what appeared to be bloody clothing rags in a laundry pail in the basement. But these clothes were removed by police and not tested at the time.
Oh my God.
Lizzie said the rags were menstrual soiled. The claim later confirmed by the family doctor, but the police accepted this and did not analyze them. Officers noted that Lizzie herself had almost no blood on her or her clothing that morning, only a tiny speck on a petticoat. How do we feel about that?
She had a speck of blood
on her petticoat.
Okay.
But
what is that?
Like a corset. The top part of your dress.
I don't wear a dress. So
it's a top part of a dress.
Oh, okay.
I know you don't wear a dress. Yeah. So annoying.
A speck?
Yeah, like, you know, like she might have like, I don't know. It was weird because if I see someone, I feel, because I've never been in the situation, that if I see like a person that I know lying dead on the thing, I don't know what I would do, but maybe I'd freak out and go to them and then I'd get full of.
But you wouldn't have a speck.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? Also, I'm so sorry. I feel like if your head is cracked open, you would bleed all over the place.
Yeah, but not in the way that you think that you're like gushing and like.
No, I don't mean gushing, but I do mean like you're bleeding out in a way.
Yeah. But
right? There would be a lot more blood than just them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, if you hit somebody with an axe, I feel like
repeatedly, I feel like you would have a mess.
You bring it back up to hit them again. I feel like you would splatter some blood on the roof. You know?
And there was some forced use considering the whole eye split in two.
Yeah.
Right. So
something's weird.
Very, very weird. So, nonetheless, suspicion quickly focused on Lizzie. She was the only adult family member present because Emma Borden, her older sister, was visiting elsewhere. So she was nowhere near the farm or the house at the time. So a full inquest and police investigation ensued strictly on Lizzie Borden.
Yeah.
So right now we have 2 victims, an axe, and a daughter who would become one of the most infamous names in true crime. And I think that we can all agree that the level of violence between these 2 murders feels personal.
It does. It does. It sounds that way.
Lizzie claims she was in the barn. She was cleaning a horseshoe and eating pears. When she returned, she said she found her father's body and called for help. But there are a lot of inconsistencies.
Yeah.
No one confirmed she was in the barn. Her timeline didn't quite add up.
Of course.
And perhaps what was most suspicious is that she attempted to purchase poison the day before the murders.
Yeah, it does sound pretty bad. You know what they should have done? They should have gone to the barn.
But I'm not done.
Oh, okay, go.
But no one also saw her with a hatchet, right? No one saw her do anything that incriminated her into it either.
Right.
Right. So you have a double-edged sword here.
Yeah, but the hatchet could have just been inside the house already. And, nobody's gonna see her.
Now, the Borden residence was a 2-story brick duplex, north and south houses.
Okay.
Sharing a basement. The primary crime scene was in the north house. Andrew lay on the ground floor, like we know, in the front parlor, and Abby was upstairs in a guest bedroom above. A narrow back hall and kitchen led to the rear door. The cellar underlies the sitting room and contains the coal furnace where the hatchet was found.
Okay.
A handless hatchet with a claw was found in the basement coal cellar of the Borden home, near the furnace on August 5th, which was the day after the murders. This hatchet had rusty areas and one side with reddish brown spots. Forensic experts at the inquest noted that this weapon just fits many of the skull wounds and found a long gray hair stuck in its claw head. So I guess it's like, when you say claw head, I'm assuming it's like at some point in the edge, like in the blade, there's like a claw part, right? Like a little circular area.
Yeah.
They're kind of like claws.
Not on a...
Like a pick, but not like
not on an axe.
Well, it's a handless hatchet. Google it.
Handleless?
Handless hatchet.
Through Wi-Fi or something? Got it? Because it's handleless.
It's a Bluetooth. A handleless hatchet with a claw. I think it does look like an axe.
With a claw. Boom.
What does it look like?
Like that. I guess it's like the little thing right there.
Oh, okay. Well, that part. Okay, so it
It
has
just
like
looks like
a double axe. There's a smaller one on one side and the longer one on the other.
But it just looks like one side is a axe and the other side is like a form of hammer, like just a big hammer.
Okay, I get it. So this hatchet had rusty areas in one side with reddish brown spots in the other. Forensic experts at the inquest noted that this weapon just fits many of the skull wounds and found a long gray hair stuck in its claw head.
Okay.
A microscopic examination was ordered on 2 axes and 2 hatchets seized from the cellar. So they had
in the
4.
1800s, they were going to do a microscopic test on a hair.
That's what they said. That's what it says. Or maybe they later,
So
maybe
sophisticated.
no, but maybe later on they did.
Okay. Makes
Because
sense.
we want to put this bitch in bars.
Oh,
Okay. Please don't haunt me. Thank you. Specialists matched the gray hair on the hatchet to Abby Borden's hair. One examiner concluded that this hatchet was identical with the wounds on the victims.
okay.
The hatchet was kept in police custody through the inquest and trial. Notably, police refused to dust or test the hatchet for fingerprints, saying that there are doubts about fingerprint reliability. What do you think? I say do it regardless.
Yeah, of course.
I say do it regardless. I understand that there can be fingerprint reliability, like it's not as reliable as like certain DNA, like hair or you know what I mean, like blood and things like that.
Of course.
But we should always do it just to have like that extra.
Of course.
So it says the hatchet with hair was inventoried and examined by police scientists. No records show it ever left police custody, and the bloody rags were unexamined, and their whereabouts are unknown. So we don't know what happened to those bloody rags. Meaning, if we wanted to test it today, we can't.
So they didn't collect it.
I'm assuming, quote unquote, lost. Because remember, the doctor, the physician, that said, "Oh no, yeah, that's just menstrual blood."
Yeah.
Was a family doctor.
Right, he could have been covering for
Exactly.
Yeah.
Emma Borden, contacted by police at 3:30 p.m. on August 11th, was instructed to search for Lizzie's person as a matron. So her own cousin did the search. Lizzie waived formal reading at the arrest warrant and remained in police custody under guard. The contents of Andrew Borden's safe were removed and sealed in a bank vault because no will or obvious motive was found. So there was no motive towards
killing them,
which was another thing that was against her. Right? Not against her. It was working in her favor. Sorry. Because, for example, if he had a will and on the will he gave like half of the money that he had to her, then you have a motive because she wants the money. Right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
She's 32, unmarried, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a motive. But
she was 32?
She was 32.
Dang.
Yeah. No, and then Emma wasn't even home, but Emma lives there too.
Yeah.
Who's older, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, there was no clear motive, which works in her favor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In the hay of the back barn behind the house, a fresh impression of a human body was seen.
What?
As if someone around 5'6" had lain there. This was shorter than Mr. Borden, suggesting the killer may have hidden or slept there. No other bloody footprints or muddy tracks were documented, and the ground outside was reported dry. So if you were dirty with blood,
Yeah.
you would track it somewhere, right?
Of course, yeah.
There was nothing reported. And I shall put in the fact that Lizzie Borden was 5'4", according to my internet.
Yeah, okay.
But then I'm like, I don't know, boots, hair, that all leaves an impression.
Yeah, that's true.
That's only 2 inches. It's not that big of a deal. The investigation was hampered by sensational media attention and the Borden family prominence. Because remember, the Borden family was known, right? The name was known because of such a wealthy person and a property developer.
Yeah.
In that time. But by modern standards, this failed to collect the Latin prints or thoroughly process the crime scene. No crime lab dusting, no photo documentation of prints, footprints, or the hatchet in suit. And because of this, and because of the time, I can assume is really the reason why we didn't have as much evidence. Right? We get it?
Right.
So, at the trial, because they did take her into custody, right?
Right.
Lizzie's trial took place in New Bedford starting on June 5th, 1893. Prosecuting attorneys were Hosea M. Knowlton and future United States Supreme Court Justice William H. Moody. Defending were Andrew V. Jennings, Melvin O. Adams, and former Massachusetts Governor George D. Robinson. Wow, a lot of big names here.
Yeah, big names.
In this specific case.
Trial, yeah.
Another axe murder occurred in Fall River on June 1st, 5 days before Borden's trial began. This time, the victim was Bertha Manchester, who was found hacked to death in her kitchen. The similarities between the Manchester and Borden murders were striking and noted by jurors. Portuguese immigrant José Correa de Mello was convicted of Manchester's murder in 1894, but he was determined not to have been in the vicinity of Fall River at the time of the Borden murders. A prominent point of discussion in the trial and press covered was the hatchet head found in the basement, which was not convincingly demonstrated by the prosecution to be the murder weapon. So they have a murder weapon, but they're like, that's not it.
Right.
Prosecutors argued that the killer had removed the handle because it would have been covered in blood. One officer testified that a hatchet handle was found near the hatchet head, but another officer contradicted this. No bloody clothing was found at the scene, but Russell testified that she had witnessed Lizzie burn a dress in the kitchen stove on August 8th, 1892, which was 2 days after.
Oh, interesting.
Saying that it had been ruined when she brushed against wet paint.
Oh, okay.
During the course of the trial, the defense never attempted to challenge this statement. There are so many things here that are weird.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Why do you need to be burning a dress at this very moment when your dad just died?
Yeah.
It makes absolutely no sense. She's so very nonchalant about everything.
Yeah.
The trial jury that acquitted Borden, because she was acquitted, by the way.
Oh.
She was acquitted. In 1893, Lizzie's presence at the home was also a point of dispute during the trial. According to testimony, Sullivan entered the second floor at around 10:58 a.m. and then left Lizzie and her father downstairs. Lizzie told several people that she went into the barn and was not in the house for 20 minutes or possibly half an hour. Hyman Lubinsky testified for the defense that he saw Lizzie leaving the barn at 11:03 a.m. and Charles Gardner confirmed the time. At 11:10 a.m., Lizzie called Sullivan downstairs, told her that Andrew had been murdered, and ordered her not to enter the room. Instead, Lizzie sent her to get a doctor. So, at the beginning of all this, no one saw her. We didn't see her go in the barn. We didn't see her go out. But then as time progressed, people started saying, oh yeah, I saw her leave.
Right.
And even confirmed times. Which to me seems suspicious.
Yeah. Very suspicious.
Very, very suspicious. But I wasn't there. Lizzie called Sullivan downstairs, told her that Andrew had been murdered, and ordered her not to enter the room. Instead, Lizzie sent her to get a doctor. Both victims' heads had been removed during autopsy, and the skulls were admitted as evidence during the trial and presented on June 5th, 1893. Upon seeing them in the courtroom, Lizzie fainted. She's nonchalant about the entire thing, burns a dress.
But when they show her the skulls and stuff,
yeah, she faints. Evidence was excluded that she had sought to purchase prussic acid, hydrogen cyanide, from the local druggist on the day before the murders, reportedly for cleaning a sealskin cloak.
okay.
The judge ruled that the incident was too remote in time to have any connection. So they're like, oh, that has no connection to what's going on right now. So it's not a thing. Presiding Associate Justice Justin Dewey had been appointed by Robinson when he was governor, and he delivered a lengthy summary that supported the defense before the jury was sent to deliberate on June 20, 1893. After an hour and a half of deliberation, the jury acquitted Lizzie Borden of the murders. Upon exiting the courthouse, she told reporters that she was the happiest woman in the world. That's what you want to say after you were acquitted from your own parents' murders. Cool.
That's very weird.
Of course you were the happiest woman in the world because you just got away with it. The trial has been compared to the later trials of Bruno Hauptmann, Ethel and Julius Rosenberg, and O.J. Simpson as a landmark in publicity and public interest in the history of American legal proceedings. Now, I want to talk about theories.
Okay.
Some theories that we have in this case, because I feel like investigation was botched.
Major.
Right? Or maybe not botched, but
it was messed up.
A lot of things were not done.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of things were done correctly. A lot of things were not done, period. I feel. Okay? And two, we didn't question her enough.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what I feel. So, some theories I have.
Okay. Shoot.
Something that a lot of people don't know is that there was another significant suspect throughout the trial, but it's not a trial, throughout the investigation, right? We're talking about John Morse, who was Lizzie's maternal uncle.
Okay.
Who rarely met with the family after his sister died, but had slept in the house the night before the murders.
Oh.
And according to law enforcement, he had provided an absurdly perfect and over-detailed alibi for the death of Abby Borden.
Right.
Morse was considered a suspect by police for a period of time.
That's a good suspect, though.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm. Maybe they both did it.
And he has a motive.
He does have a motive. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I would say. Now, let's go to the Lizzie Borden theory. Ready? Because that's very at the top, right?
Right.
It says, although acquitted at trial, Lizzie remained the prime suspect in her father's and stepmother's murders, right? As we know.
Right.
Writer Victoria Lincoln proposed in 1967 that she might have committed the murders while in a fugue state.
What's a fugue?
I'm going to go.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now.
All right, perfect.
It's a dissociative fugue. Meaning like you're dissociated.
Okay, so you have no idea what you're doing, basically.
Right. You dissociated and then you killed your parents. Cool. Another prominent suggestion was that she was physically and sexually abused by her father, which drove her to kill him. There is little evidence to support this, but incest is not a topic that would have been discussed at the time.
Right.
And the methods for collecting physical evidence would have been quite different in 1892.
Yeah.
This belief was intimidated in local papers at the time of the murders and was revisited by scholar Marcia Carlisle in a 1992 essay. A mystery author, Evan Hunter, which was not so mystery now that I'm reading it, better known as Ed McBain, in his 1984 novel Lizzie, suggested that Lizzie committed the murders after being caught in a tryst with Sullivan is Bridget, by the way.
Okay.
In a tryst with Bridget. McBain elaborated on his speculation in a 1999 interview, speculating that Abby had caught the two together and had reacted with horror and disgust, and that Lizzie had killed Abby with a candlestick. She made a confession to Andrew when he returned home, but killed him in a rage with a hatchet when he reacted exactly as Abby had. He further speculated that Bridget disposed of the hatchet somewhere afterwards. So they're saying that they were lesbians.
Oh.
You seem confused over
Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
They were saying that they were lesbians and that her stepmother caught her when she was all like,
act.
Right. And then when she reacted by killing her.
Okay.
And then when he got home, she was like, I did this because of this.
He had the same reaction.
He had the same reaction. He was like, well, I'm going to kill you too.
Yeah. Okay.
In her later years, though, because remember, she was acquitted, Lizzie was rumored to be a lesbian.
Oh.
But there was no such speculation about Bridget, who later married a man she met while working as a maid in Butte, Montana.
Maybe she was experimenting.
Or Butte, or Butte, Montana. Experimenting? Well, yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Bridget died in Butte in 1948. Allegedly, she gave a deathbed confession to her sister in which she stated that she had changed her testimony on the stand to protect Lizzie.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. So that further solidifies to me that she may have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because why are you changing testimony, girl? Interesting. Now, 2 more theories left. Ready? We have William Borden.
Okay, who's that?
He was suspected to be Andrew's illegitimate son.
Oh.
He was noted as a possible suspect by author Arnold Brown, who surmised that William had tried and failed to extort money from his alleged father.
The cheap guy.
Yes, the cheap dude. Which makes sense because, yeah. Author Leonard Robello, after extensive research on William, proved he was not Andrew's son. So that was a short-lived theory.
Okay. But he was still trying to extort him, or?
I'm not really sure. Okay. I guess after the fact that he realized that it wasn't his father, he stopped extorting money. Well, I mean, at some point he did stop extorting money because the guy died. And then lastly, we have Emma Borden.
Okay.
The older sister.
Yeah.
Although Emma had an alibi at Fairhaven, which was about 15 miles from Fall River, crime writer Frank Spearing proposed in his 1984 book, Lizzie, that she might have secretly visited the residence to kill her parents before returning to Fairhaven in time to receive the telegram informing her of the murders.
Wow. I mean, it's only 15 miles.
She busted a mission.
Yeah.
She busted a mission late at night, did it early morning, waited for everybody to be home early morning, to then bust the mission, go back before any of that was told to her.
Not bad.
It's a far stretch. In 1860?
Yeah, that's not bad. But why would she want to kill her parents?
Exactly. That's the whole point. Why it's a theory.
Yeah.
Why would she want to? Maybe for money as well. For the house. The house has to stay with them.
Yeah.
Right? You're talking about if Lizzie was 32 and she's older.
Right.
And that I know of, none of them were married yet. Which makes a difference in that time.
30s is crazy.
Yeah. So then after, right, that was after later after the trial.
Okay.
The Borden sisters moved into a large modern house in the hill.
Oh, wow.
They moved in a modern house in the hill neighborhood in Fall River, right? The very expensive, luxurious area of Fall River.
I bet.
Around this time, Lizzie began using the name Lizbeth A. Borden.
Lizbeth?
Yes, Lizbeth. I am not Lizzie anymore. I am Elizabeth.
Oh, my apologies.
At their new house, which Lizbeth dubbed Maplecroft, they had a staff that included live-in maids, a housekeeper, and a coachman.
So they kept the money.
Of course they did. Well, or business.
Okay.
Right? Because he had a safe.
Yeah.
But the safe was put in the bank.
Yeah.
So whatever was in the safe is not theirs.
Right.
But they still had the business because they had the Borden name.
Yeah.
Because Abby was ruled to have died before Andrew, her estate went first to Andrew and then, at his death, passed to his daughters as part of his estate. A considerable settlement, however, was paid to settle claims by Abby's family.
Okay.
So, because they were married,
yeah,
whatever Abby had was passed down to Andrew.
Right.
But Andrew died too.
So they passed down to...
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Right. And so Abby's family was like, what the...
Of course.
Right. So then they obviously had to pay a considerable settlement in order for them to shut up.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, like they should have just asked for more.
Yeah.
Like her estate shouldn't have gone to them, which was probably on the hill, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like they should have just stayed at their house and then with their own money buy another house.
True.
And left their estate to Abby's family.
True.
But we know that Lizzie did not have a cordial relationship with her.
Right.
So despite the acquittal, Lizzie was ostracized by Fall River society.
I mean...
Duh. Her name was again brought into the public eye when she was accused of shoplifting in Providence, Rhode Island in 1897. How are you shoplifting with money? I don't get it.
She was cheap too.
I mean, who did she grow up with? In 1905, shortly after an argument over a party that Lisbeth had given for actress Nance O'Neill, because we're there now.
Okay.
Emma moved out of the house and never saw her sister again.
Damn.
Emma was like, deuces, you're crazy. You're crazy. Can't do this anymore.
Holy shit.
So following the removal of her gallbladder later on in life, Lizzie was ill the last year of her life. At age 66, she died of pneumonia on June 1st, 1927.
What?
Fun fact, age 66 was the same age that her dad died.
What a coincidence.
Funeral details were not published and few attended because she was crazy.
Yeah.
Emma died 9 days later at a nursing home in Newmarket, New Hampshire. She was 76. Pause. 32. What is the age gap between 76 and 66?
10.
So you're telling me that when her parents died, Lizzie was 32.
She was 42.
And she was 42?
Jesus.
Moving on. She was 76 and had been suffering from chronic nephritis.
Which is?
I'm going to give it to you right now. It's... That's not it. Did I press the wrong thing? It's a term used to refer to severe kidney disease.
Oh, okay.
Both lifelong spinsters. Oh, so they never married or had kids.
Okay.
Lizzie and Emma were buried side by side in the family plot at Oak Grove Cemetery in Fall River. At the time of her death in 1927, Borden was worth over $250,000, which is the equivalent of $6,218,000.
Wow.
In 2025, she owned a house on the corner of French Street and Belmont Street, several office buildings, shared in several utilities, 2 cars, and a large amount of jewelry.
Whoa.
She left $30,000, which is the equivalent to $700,000, to the Fall River Animal Rescue League, and $500, which is $12,000 today, in trust for perpetual care of her father's grave. Which is nice.
Okay.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Or messed up.
Yeah.
If you killed him.
Yeah.
Her closest friend and a cousin each received $6,000, which is $149,000 today.
Wow.
Substantial sums at the time of the state distribution in 1927. And numerous friends and family members each received $1,000, which is the equivalent of $25,000 today. And $5,000, which is the equivalent of $124,000. So depending on the family or friends, you received that amount of money.
Okay.
Which was nice of her.
Yeah.
You know. And just to end off on a... I don't want to say lighter notes or funny notes, but there is a folklore rhyme.
Okay.
Right? Some of us may or may not have heard it.
Uh-huh.
Right? But...
Are you going to play it or are you going to sing it?
I'm going to say it.
Oh.
The case was memorialized in a popular skipping rope rhyme sung to the tune of the then popular song Ta-ra-ra boom da, right?
Okay.
But it says, Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her dad 41. And then, because it keeps going, The folklore says that the rhyme was made up by an anonymous writer as a tune to sell newspapers. Others attribute to the ubiquitous but anonymous Mother Goose. In reality, Lizzie's stepmother suffered 18 or 19 blows, and her father suffered 11 blows.
Right.
So the 40 whacks was just to kind of
spice it up a bit.
Right. And the rhyme has a less well-known second verse.
Oh.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
It says, Andrew Borden now is dead. Lizzie hit him on the head. Up in heaven he will sing. On the gallows she will swing.
Oh my God.
And this is allegedly that he killed them. We're just speculating. Per justice, it says that she did not.
Yeah, she was.
I put that out there, even though we all might think that she did do it, which I personally believe allegedly that she did do it.
Yeah.
She was found innocent in front of the jury, and that is my episode on the Lizzie Borden case. Also, fun fact: the actual house, I guess, has been not refurbished. It has been, what do you call it when you like make it, like it's kept, it's preserved.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
So you can visit it? You
can visit it. You can actually sleep in it. And people have said that it's very, very haunted. And you hear a lot of things, especially in the that parlor room.
Yeah.
And the guest bedroom. And they have confirmed that you can actually stand at the very bottom of the stairs and still see inside of the guest bedroom. So there was no way that Lizzie did not see her.
Oh.
Right, because Lizzie said that she just stood in the parlor room and was like, what? You know?
I think we should go.
What?
Yeah, maybe not stay, but you could visit the whole thing.
We probably can, yeah. I would never stay.
Yes, I think staying is a little bit too much.
I would never be able. There's a basement.
Bit much.
There's a basement. I don't do basements. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just to know that there's a basement and that people can come in and out of there. Like, I'm done. Over.
But yeah, no, we should definitely go. Not stay, but go.
And she burned her dress in the oven. Goodbye.
Is the oven still there?
Goodbye. Goodbye. It's like a bed and breakfast, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
It's like preserved, so it's like exactly how.
So you get to see where the dad died.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. No, we should.
You get
go.
to sit there.
We can make it like a
little trip.
Yeah.
A little trippy trip.
Yeah. Like a video, like a live.
Oh, we could.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know that you can actually do like, they have those meta glasses now, or like those glasses that take video.
Yeah.
Like that'd be great.
So you could stand at the bottom of the.
And then I can laugh like she did.
At the top of the thing? Yeah.
Yeah, allegedly, because she swears that she was not in there.
Of course.
And that concludes my episode for today. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Please follow Spotify if you haven't yet. Also, please share with your friends and family if you will, if they like this type of stuff. Also, we have a Instagram. Yes,
you could send us suggestions on cases or your coffee order, and we'll read it. Maybe we'll try it too.
Yes, we're open to trying new coffee orders as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Follow us on X and TikTok.
Yes.
That's another one. Follow us on whatever if you would like. And thank you very much. See you next Wednesday.
Goodbye.